Judge, I forgot to approach you on this other case. It's Miss Loyola. Judge, she has an AFM in our court, but she has a felony.
So she's on bond for an assault of a family member,
Yes.
on bond for a felony assault of a peace officer, and now you...
Let's pause right there. She's already out on 2 separate felony bonds. One for assaulting a family member and another for assaulting a peace officer. And now there's another charge? At what point does the system say, enough is enough? Comment below. Should repeat bond violators even be granted new ones?
pick up a new case.
And what happened was she went to felony.
Oh, hold on. I don't even think we've done probable cause yet. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You now stand charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or $2,000 fine.
Please.
On March 19th, 2025, a law enforcement officer observed a white Chevrolet Silverado ahead of him on the block 600 block of Brooklyn Parkway and ran the license plate through the NCIC TCIC. Registration was shown to be expired as June 2024. A traffic stop was initiated and the law enforcement officer made contact with the defendant, the driver. The law enforcement officer observed a strong odor of marijuana. The defendant claimed at first she didn't have anything in the motor vehicle, then confessed she had marijuana and several pipes. The defendant was detained. Probable cause search of the motor vehicle was done, and the law enforcement officer located multiple marijuana pipes. Law enforcement officer located a small bag of a leafy green substance and a black bag in the back seat. It was identified as marijuana, and the bag was within arm's reach of the defendant. Total weight of marijuana was 0.09 ounces.
So we got marijuana, pipes, a revoked license, and now she's swerving into bond violations. This isn't just a bad day, it's a pattern. Judges see right through excuses, especially when everything is piling up like this.
She has a license.
Yes, Your Honor. It does show me
Eligible or
ineligible.
eligible? Not allowed to drive. You will now be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't give a rat's behind what your excuses are. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and or a $500 fine every time you drive. You are on bond for 2 cases. Your first bond violation report was filed in February for you not showing up for testing and not picked up a new case. I now revoke your bond on the assault.
Boom. That's it. Bond revoked. Notice how calmly the judge dropped the hammer? When you're already skating on thin ice, one more misstep doesn't just crack it, it shatters everything. Think this was fair, or was she already paying for past mistakes? Let us know in the comments.
Case.
Judge, if I may.
Please.
She went to felony court, and she was also revoked there. She just spent probably 4 or 5 days there. Is that right? And she's out here, so.
I was in jail for a traffic ticket and a big call.
I don't know if you heard that, Judge, but the day that she missed court here the first time.
No, I never missed it.
You missed it, that's right. She actually texted me and she got taken into custody because of a traffic ticket. I have all that. So she was actually on her way to the testing and got picked over, and therefore she couldn't continue to make it there. So she's already been punished for bond revocation on the felony court, which she spent 5 days in jail last week. When did you get out on that?
Saturday.
Saturdays. And so if we take her in, I know you have a right to, Judge. It seems to me like it's kind of like a double whammy for her, especially for the fact that for that first BBR, she did honestly try to make an attempt to get there. I have the phone records for that, Judge.
When someone tells me something,
Here comes the real truth bomb. When a judge says your excuses go in one ear and out the other, you officially lost all credibility. That's not just frustration. That's a red flag waving hard in the courtroom.
they repeatedly fail to recognize the conditions that we set forward. For me, it goes in one ear and it goes out the other ear. You telling me something when you get out the doors, you still do whatever the hell you want to do without regard to bond conditions in this court. I'm now revoking your bond. She does with you. Well, hold on. I need to sign this affidavit so she's not going to drive. And then she does with you. I'm sorry,
Can
John,
I-
but it was just one thing after the other. Just
Do you want to
too
go
much
ahead
drama.
and just issue a new bond, or can I revisit you in about an hour to figure out what we want to do? You want to do it that way? Okay. Shh.
You been down without a plea?
She did, or we have to wait till
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. You really want to do a probation with Mr. Proctor?
That's what he said, Judge.
You couldn't even stay out of trouble while you're on bond. Why do you actually think that you can make a probation? Yeah, I've heard that before. How many times have I heard that before? How many bond violations have we had, Mr. Proctor? You know, you can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. You know, if you think you repeatedly fail to appear in court, you repeatedly fail to comply with bond conditions, how on earth do you think that you're going to be able to make probation where you have to do classes, you have to remain clean, you have to report once a month? You can't even report to court once a month.
Mic drop moment. The judge just laid out exactly why probation isn't just a walk in the park. If you can't even show up for court once a month, how are you going to complete classes, stay clean, and check in regularly for an entire year? This is real talk.
How are you going to do this for 12 months? History says otherwise, Mr. Proctor. Can we do a TRAS? Before I do anything, I don't know how to go forward with him. And I think that probably the best way to see is to have Mr. Proctor evaluated to see what conditions and what is the appropriate way to go forward, because I have no idea what's going on in your life. I have no idea what you have, and we don't want to see you fail, Mr. Proctor. We want you to leave better than you came. But just doing this right here, it's just throwing you out there to the wolves. I mean, if you really think that this is the appropriate way, you can even, while you're on bond, for a couple months, stay out. Before, I would like to have him evaluated. So what we do is we have clinicians available that can interview you, talk about you, what's going on with your life, what has been happening with you, how everything has transpired and how we've gotten here to this point, and to see what's the best way that we go forward. Do we need a treatment plan? Do we need inpatient treatment? Is it sufficient to do out? I don't know. But